Hello and welcome to today's The Last Week Ahead video. Now in today's The Last Week Ahead video, we'll take a look at the news to affect our market this week. Plus, we'll take a look at two stocks, which is Maruti Suzuki and BSE. I'll take a look at both of them from a perspective of simple equity, plus from a perspective of F&O. Now coming to the news front. Now the news front, basically on the local front, is only the rumor going around that there'll be a cabinet reshuffle either announced sometime today or sometime tomorrow. So that is something that is going to keep the market in sort of a tandem range, I would say, because the rumor is that the finance ministry is finally getting a change. If that happens, then we can see a lot of positivity coming to market, even whoever sits on that position, because it will be a welcome note. However, if it fails to happen, then I think it will put some bearish pressure on the whole thing. But that is so far just a rumor which is really circulating, so we'll have to see how true that is as the week progresses. Then on the international front, basically there's again the Iran issue is coming into forefront. This is America last night went and dropped a few missiles again on Iran, on some surveillance systems of Iran. Everyone is directly linking it not to anything technically Iran is really done. Iran has been accused of attacking a ship, but mainly to try to divert people from the Epstein issue, as the Epstein issue is again coming into the forefront of American politics. So now this coming week we'll have to see how the Iran issue plays out. If Iran responds with the same rhetoric in terms of missiles and all, if they do, then most likely the deal is off, and again it will be chaos in the markets for some time. So that's really it on the news front. Now let's take a look at Maruti Suzuki, after which we'll take a look at BSE. Now when we take a look at Maruti Suzuki, basically we can see it has sort of been range bound between this point and this point, and due to that what I see is that as long as it is between 13,920 to 12,870, this stock is not going to go anywhere. However, if it breaks above 13,920, then it can decide to go above towards 14,480 and 15,020. So my trading plan is pretty simple. Between the, what do you call this, 13,920 and 12,870, I will not touch this for even intraday trade. Why I'm not touching for intraday trade? If you look at most of the patterns which have formed on the charts, the bars have been very small. There have been a few big ones, but most have been very small. So intraday trading range is even very tiny. So you're not really going to get a huge benefit by trying to go aggressive on Maruti Suzuki at any point. So according to me, Maruti Suzuki is only a positional play, but it's only a positional play if it breaks above 13,920 or it breaks below 12,870. If it breaks above 13,920, then it will be important for this trend catcher to break this high here. As if it does that, then 14,480 and 15,020 are confirmed. However, if the trend catcher cannot break its recent this high which is here, then it will not be able to take a rise. So for Maruti Suzuki's rise to have some strength behind it, it will be very important to see how this indicator performs, as it is the key in the picture. How will I trade it? Whether I'll use futures or whether I'll use equity. Now, if Maruti Suzuki breaks 13,920, then I will end up going by option sales plus equity, meaning I'll buy the share for a target of 14,480 and 15,020, and then I'll sell puts of either below 13,100 or somewhere below 13,500. That will depend on how strong the breakout is, depending on how this trend catcher performs on the breaking out phase. So why am I not going for futures? Because I think this move can be slow, and I don't want to basically go and end up getting trapped in a margin thing with a slow futures and the hedge is eating the profit. So that's why option sells, because option sells slow is better because more premium collection, and on the other hand the equity, there is no decay or nothing. So that's why I would want to do that combo. On the other hand, if Maruti Suzuki were to break 12,870, then I can see it falling to 12k and 11,400, but that I would take via futures, short, and C sells, very aggressive C sells of nearly everything above this. This is a break right now would be very detrimental to the stock. So overall for Maruti, don't trade it within this range. Let it break out of the range of 12,870 and 13,920, then you can take a look at it for equity plus F&O. Next we'll take a look at BSE. Now BSE also, if you take a look at it, has been trading in sort of a range. BSE has been one of the few stocks when this whole issue has been happening, it had a rise, but then after that it has gone range bound. So again, this is a similar play between 4190 and 3810. It's a no trade zone. But BSE, due to its price bars being a bit more juicy, I think this is something that can be even used as an intraday play. Like Maruti cannot be done as an intraday play because the bars are too tiny. So now how am I planning to trade BSE? Now according to me, if BSE breaks 3810, then I'm taking a shot to 3680. If it breaks at 3500. Now BSE, due to how its pattern is forming, if it breaks this, it can have a very fast move. So I will look at this more towards option buying plus option selling. No, I would not look at this towards futures. So if I see it is breaking 3810, then I'll most likely buy options to target 3680 and 3500, while at the same time buy puts basically, at the same time sell calls of basically above 4,000 rupees, or if I want to be safe, 4,190 rupees and above. So my trading plan for BSE is based on that, basically that if I see it's breaking 3810, then I will short it aggressively. On the other hand, if I see it's starting to form some strength here, I will not go long, even though it can go towards 490, as it might just go till here then falter. This is Maruti Suzuki, for example, is pointing more towards going up. BSE is pointing more towards going down. So I'd rather follow the primary trend rather than try to create my own trend, which is not going to work out in terms of anything, because you cannot fight the market. Now that's really it for BSE and Maruti Suzuki. If you liked the video, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.